Hello everyone, so we are here to discuss about the different types of food preparations as a review in your topic when you are in grade 8. Okay, so we will going to discuss different types of cutting techniques, cooking methods, and mixing terms also. Okay, so let's start. First one is pairing. Okay, a very common preparation that we're doing in the kitchen. Okay, it is to remove outer covering with the use of paring knife. Next is peeling, to remove outer covering with the use of a hand. So kanina pag sinabi nating paring, it is by the use of a kitchen tool or with the help of a knife. While peeling, it is just using your bare hand to remove the outer covering or the skin of a certain vegetable or fruit. Next one is slicing, to cut food into narrow or flat pieces. Another one is chopping, to cut the food into small pieces using hard strokes and without even a specific measurement. So the dicing, it is also like chopping, but the difference between is to cut it into cubes about half an inch. So meron tayong size na pinatarget. Another dicing is a macedon, or also what we call the large dice. It is bigger than the dicing because the size of it is 3/4 by 3/4 by 3/4, or the height, the width, and the length of it is 3/4 in size. Next, a very interesting cutting technique is what we call julienne, to cut into long, thin matchstick-like strips. The size of it is 1/8 by 1/8 by 2.5. The height 1/8, the width is 1/8, and the length of it is 2.5 inch. Another one is brunoise. I repeat, brunoise. The food is usually first julienned, cut into julienne first, and then sliced across the sticks to produce small cubes. And the size of it is 1/8 by 1/8 by 1/8. So as you can see, it is very small. But it is different from mincing. So this is the mincing, to cut or chop into small, very fine pieces. Next one is chiffonade or chiffonade, or in English that is shredding. Herbs or leafy vegetables are cut into long, thin strips. Next one is grating, a very common food preparation, to rub against a rough, sharp surface in order to cut into fine pieces. Next one is flaking, or in Filipino we call it paghihimay, to separate in layers as in cooked chicken or fish that separates naturally. Another one is pounding. It breaks foods into very fine pieces with the help of a kitchen tool, mortar, and pestle. Next one is stringing, removing the string fibers along the side of vegetables such as bagu beans, sitsaro, or sitaw. Next one is marinating. It is soaking food in a mixture of oil, vinegar, soy sauce, lemon juice, or calamansi juice, and seasoning, and that mixture is what we call marinade. Next is sifting. It is a process of passing dry ingredients through a fine sifter so large pieces can be removed, such as flour or powdered sugar. Okay, so we are done reviewing some of the food preparation terms and also cutting techniques. Next one is the mixing terms. Beating, to mix using a brisk lifting motion as in beating an egg. blending, to mix thoroughly two or more ingredients with the use of blender or other kitchen tools. Next one is tossing, to tumble ingredients lightly with lifting motion for the vegetable or fresh vegetable salads. Next one is stirring, to mix ingredients with circular motion for the purpose of blending them into a consistency. This one is very common in baking, which is creaming. This is done by softening butter and adding of sugar gradually, making the mixture spongy. Another common for baking is cut-in, to combine flour and solid fat such as butter or margarine by cutting the fat into tiny pieces using a pastry blender. Next one is fold-in, to blend a soft mixture into a heavier one using a rubber scraper into a gentle up, down, and over motion so that the mixture stays light. So we have here common methods of cooking. The first is a dry heat method. First one is baking. It is cooking in an oven like breads, cakes, and cookies. Roasting. It is cooking big or small whole food in an open fire or live coals. Broiling. It is the same as roasting except that it applies to small pieces of food and use of oven. Pan broiling. It is cooking with very little fat or even no fat at all of pieces or slices of food like bacon or burger. Grilling. It is a form of cooking that involves dry heat applied to the surface of food, commonly from below using coal in a grill. Another method of cooking is moist heat cooking. Boiling. It is cooking food in liquid continuously until bubbles appear and break at the surface. Simmering. Cooking slowly where bubbles form at a slower rate and burst before reaching the surface. Stewing. Cooking slowly over low heat with just enough water to cover the food. Steaming. Cooking food by means of steam. Sautéing. Browning food in a small amount of fat. And we have three types of frying. It is cooking food in hot oil until crisp and brown. First one is pan frying, characterized by use of minimal cooking oil or fat, typically using just enough to lubricate the pan. In the case of a greasy food such as bacon, no oil or fats are needed to be added. Deep frying. Frying food in a large amount of oil that submerges the food and gives equal time of cooking in all sides. Next one is stir frying. Frying food in a small amount of oil while tossing frequently. So again, we have two methods of cooking, the dry heat method and the moist heat method. For the dry heat method, it is baking, roasting, broiling, pan broiling, and grilling. For the moist heat method, boiling, simmering, stewing, steaming, sautéing, and frying. So that's all. Thank you so much.